Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing a review on the Twins Special Airflow Bag Gloves. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'm doing a review on the Twins Special Airflow Bag Gloves. I got mine in the red and black colorway in size large, which is roughly 6.5 ounces per glove. You can get these in small, medium, large, or XL, depending on your hand size or personal preference. Comes in multiple colorways like the red and black you see here. I believe they have these in burgundy, white, green, blue, yellow, and a couple other colors. It's made mostly of genuine leather construction, with the exception being on the palm side that has that synthetic mesh for airflow. Uses multi-layered foam padding, with that upper layer or that top layer being a softer open cell foam. But once you really compress down into the foam, you can feel it firm up really nicely to give you a really good level of shock absorption. We'll discuss that performance-wise here in a second. Like all genuine Twin products, these are handmade in Thailand. Now, I actually purchased mine when I was visiting the Philippines in Manila from K1 Extreme Sports Shop. They're an actual brick and mortar store in the BGC district in Manila. So if you happen to be in the area, make sure you check them out. They have a really great variety of both Twins and Fairtex products, as well as some other brands. Really nice people, very accommodating, and definitely a fair price. So make sure you check them out. I'll put the link in the description box. If you want to purchase these online, then the trusted seller would be directly from Twins. So www.twinsspecial.com is where I would purchase these gloves. And pretty much just guarantees you getting an authentic pair of these bag gloves. Now, these are going to be my second pair of Twins gloves. I'm doing a review on it. I actually did a review on their Thai gloves a couple years ago. Was really impressed by those, especially with the quality. We had never tried out a pair of these old school style bag gloves from Thailand, so I decided to give these a shot. And honestly, I was very pleasantly surprised on how well these performed. Sometimes Thai gloves, you know, with the quality of leather they use, can often be kind of stiff, or the hand ergonomics are not always the best. There's always this break-in period. But with these, they actually ended up being very comfortable right off the bat, with a pretty much semi-broken in feel. It took a little while for me to just kind of get that foam to get a little bit looser, but they finally broken even better than they initially came when I purchased them. And to be honest with you, these are some of my favorite bag gloves I've used so far, especially if you're looking for a bag glove of this style that you want a little bit more padding and a little bit more shock absorption. You know, some of the other bag gloves you see, like the Rival RB5s, they're really nice. They give you that really nice visceral feel, but they don't offer a lot of foam padding. So this is a really good option for those of you that maybe have sore knuckles, or you have some type of issues with your hands where you just need a little extra protection, but you want to go with that old school style of bag glove. And to me, the big advantage of these type of gloves is that you have that detached thumb, and it really forces you to use correct form and fundamentals when you create and make a fist and you land with your punches. You know, a lot of the old school boxers and fighters back in the day use these gloves. In fact, a lot of times they would just use gardening gloves. There was really no padding. It was just a leather glove and that was it. But it really helps develop the strength in your hands, your wrist, your forearm muscles, to really strengthen that up. But it also makes you punch with perfect form, because if you're off with your form, if you're not punching correctly, you can definitely injure your hand, and you can feel it when you're landing on the heavy bag that you're landing incorrectly with your punch form. So that's the huge benefit of gloves like these, is that you're really able to really hone in and to really extract the most out of your training when you're punching the bag, because of how compact it is, and you're able to have that freedom of a detached thumb to where you can really make a nice locked and tight fist with these style of gloves. So to me, that's the biggest advantage of these gloves over some of the other style gloves that are out now, that are bigger, that have a lot more foam. But to me, sometimes these old school gloves still are tried and true and do an awesome job as far as developing your punching power and your punching fundamentals. Now, design-wise, these gloves are definitely compact, 6.5 ounces. So in terms of weight, they're lighter than an 8-ounce fight glove by 1.5 ounces. So do keep that in mind. The leather on here is very nice. It has a little bit more of a satin finish to it and satin feel. It does say Twins Special with their oval logo on the back of the glove. You also have the Twins cloth patch with their website on there. 3 stars, special 3 stars. You also have the large tag right here. Nothing on the flip side. Rotating around to the palm side, you have a polyester nylon liner, about an inch, maybe like 3/4 of an inch of EVA foam on the back of the wrist for a little bit of support there. You don't have any foam on the palm side. And then you also have the Twins tag on the inside of the glove. It also says made in Thailand. I believe it says genuine leather. Yep, genuine leather. Coming up right here, you do have that elastic. Now, Twins also makes a version of this bag glove that also comes with Velcro. So if you want to opt for the Velcro version, you can go with that. The drawback to the elastic is that over time, as you slide your hand in and out of the glove, this elastic will start to kind of stretch out and become looser. So that's kind of the big drawback with it. The good thing is you have the convenience of being able to just slide your hand into the glove. The good thing about the Velcro version is you get a little bit more support, a little bit more of a locked in feel. But just like the elastic, Velcro over time also starts to wear out. And you'll notice if you've had gloves long enough that Velcro won't grip on like it used to. So it's just completely up to you. It's a personal preference when it comes to that. They also have a exposed thumb version of this glove. Now you have this covered thumb, you have an exposed thumb. Again, that is a personal preference. Some people want the exposed thumb because maybe they have longer fingers and need that little extra room. This one right here actually fits me well, and I'll talk to you guys about that here in a second in terms of the fit. It does say airflow right there. It says Twins Special First Quality, handmade in Thailand. So it's all leather on this palm side. And then you have that synthetic mesh that is for breathability. And you can see that the grip bar has about a medium density, and it runs throughout the entire leather piece as well as the synthetic. And you can see that right there. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, the glove is pretty simple in terms of a look. You have the classic Twins logo, and there's nothing too crazy about this glove in terms of design. Quality-wise, these gloves are fantastic. The only area that I found really an issue with on both gloves is, and I don't even know if you can see it anymore on here, but there was a little bit of fraying right there on the cloth patch. But other than that, I mean, everything else about the glove is high quality, great leather, really nice padding. There's no actual like numbered weight designation for this glove, so it's not like it's a 8 ounce or a 10 ounce or a 12 ounce glove to where you can put these on a scale to compare to make sure it's accurate with the weight that it's advertised at. These are just large and they weigh 6.5 ounces. So there's really no comparison in terms of weight or expectation of what the weight should be. But you can see the stitching looks great. You know, the elastic is good. Everything is stitched in nicely on the edges. The leather quality is great on both the red and black leather. The dye hasn't started to bleed off. One thing I noticed is I actually had these gloves in my gym bag, and I had a white shirt in there, and everything was really sweaty from me using it. And surprisingly, the red did not bleed off onto my shirt, which was sitting right on top of these gloves. Sometimes you get gloves that bleed, but there's no issues with these so far. All the stitching was good on that edge, and the liner looks nice as well. So no issues. Very nice quality gloves. Comfort-wise, sliding my hand into the glove. Again, surprisingly, these gloves are very, very comfortable. And why I say surprisingly, again, I kind of go back to some of my past experiences with some other Thai gloves that are often stiff initially, and it just takes time to break them in. With these, you do not get that at all. A good size in terms of proportions for large. If you have larger than normal size hands, I would definitely go with XL. To me, that would be probably the safe bet. Me having regular size hand, large fits me perfectly. Even with the covered thumb, it fits nicely. Now, you can see my thumb is pretty much right at the end. I haven't had any issues with it actually kind of poking into the leather. But again, if you do have longer fingers, I would either go with an XL or maybe go with the exposed thumb version. That way you don't have to worry about your thumb jamming into the end of the thumb right there. So do keep that in mind. The finger compartment is a perfect depth as well as width, not too narrow and not too wide. And there's also a piece of neoprene right there. You can definitely feel the stitching, but the nice thing about is the location of the stitching right here is a little bit further back. So it doesn't rest on your digits like some other gloves do where you can feel the stitching right here. It actually rests inside the crease of your finger. So when you make a fist, the stitching actually kind of sits in that crease when you make a fist. So you don't have to worry about your fingers kind of rubbing on that stitching. So just location wise, it's really nice. And you can see the gloves now, they're a little bit more broken in, but initially they have a semi broken in feel, but they're not overly stiff like you find with some Thai gloves right off the bat. The wrist support is solid for what it is. You know, you're not getting these gloves for maximum wrist support. In fact, you're using these because you really want to make sure that you get that proper punch mechanics and punch form and creating a good fist. So you do have that elastic there, but you can see that it does a really good job of keeping the two sides of the leather together, and it doesn't get all floppy and separate. So that's really nice as well. But overall, I'm really satisfied with the comfort of these gloves. Now, protection and performance, again, it has a softer layer up top. The more you compress into it, you can definitely feel it kind of hardens up, and it has that nice flat punch surface. To me, this is a very balanced glove. I'd say a little bit more on the protective side, but you still get a good level of feedback with these gloves. It really forces you, again, to punch with proper mechanics. You know, if you're not making the correct fist, if you're not punching with the correct mechanics, you can definitely feel it with these gloves. But they feel excellent in terms of hitting the heavy bag. I love the feel of my knuckles really sinking in with the shots. But again, just the way it compresses down, you get a really good, satisfying, gratifying feeling of landing that shot. And that's probably what's my favorite feature about this glove, is going to be that padding system they utilize in here. So very satisfying. Again, I'd say more on the balance side, probably a little bit more on the protective side above balance, but overall, very nice in terms of protection and feedback. Cost-wise, these gloves are about $68 US. Now that depends on the conversion from Thai baht to the US dollar or wherever you're located. So just make sure you double check that. It might be a little bit different for you depending on where you're at. But that's kind of the area where I would expect to be spending for these gloves, anywhere between $60 to $70, which to me is a great deal. I've always said in the past with reviews I've done on other Thai-made equipment, you get a great bang for the buck with their equipment because you're getting a high level of craftsmanship. To me, very comparable to winning and some of the other brands out there like Reyes and just the high-end companies. And to me, they put a lot of pride in the equipment that they make, and you can see it in the product. So at the price point of, you know, anywhere between $60 to $70, I definitely think they're great gloves. If you're looking for a bag glove or bag mitt that you want a little bit of extra shock absorption, then these would definitely be a good choice for you. The other good thing is that you can also get these with the exposed thumb as well as a Velcro strap. So there's several options you can choose from, several varieties, and that makes this glove even better in that regard. So overall, I'm very happy with these. If you guys have any questions or comments, as usual, put them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these twin special airflow bag gloves. I'll see you guys later. Take care.